to lie, won't stop to lie, can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie, can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie, ain't no Chico, just be smooth.
We're back at it, y'all, with another episode of TechDontSleep Podcast. It's your boy Bill McCleskey right here in the building. And I'm sitting with actually two of my great buddies and comrades in business, Marvell Bandy and Cam Gray, or should I say Cambrean?
Either word.
Okay, either works. Because Cam sounds good. Cam Gray, and they are the co-founders of First Defense Security. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. So we're going to talk to them today about their business, why they started the business, how they started it, what services they're offering. And, as usual, guys, we always like to bring to you some value as it relates to technology. And I think that we have not had a security focused company on the podcast before and been able to have a discussion about how that relates to your business and how you can secure, yourself, your equipment, and some cool ways to really do that technology-wise. So let's jump into it. How y'all doing? Y'all good?
All right.
Hey, man, I know you just got on the phone with your therapist, but...
Stop it.
I was just playing. Woo! I asked Cam before you got here, because you were late.
I was with a client. First priority.
He's with a client. Yeah. I asked Cam how business was, and she was saying this is kind of y'all's busy season.
It is.
Right? So how are things like overall? Talk to me about it.
Great. Could always be better.
Yeah.
But right now it's good. In this industry, this is our busy season because people are moving, even in business and residential. So that's the time that we get a lot of business. So it's great for us.
And how long does the busy season last? Is it like the summer months for y'all, or?
Usually, we have our ebbs and flows like any other industry, but for us, usually summertime into probably right before school starts.
Mm-hmm.
Then, people focus the shift a little bit. Then it peaks a little bit right before the holidays, and then it kind of cycles back around.
Yeah. So let's get specific and get clear about what First Defense Security does, right? What do you guys do? Like when you do your quick pitch or tell people what you do, what is it? What services do you offer? What do you do?
Well, we started this business to not only talk about security, we're a smart company. So everything with our company, you control from the palm of your hands.
Okay.
So you could say just you're in California, you're in Florida, or to put it blatantly, you're never away from your home when it comes to, or business when it comes to First Defense. And that's what we like about it. I could be in the water somewhere, across the abroad. I want to know what's going on in my house as long as I got Wi-Fi capabilities from where I am.
So you say you're a smart company, meaning I can identify or control everything
right from there,
right from my phone.
If you have a smartphone, you can control your thermostats,
your
door locks,
your
camera, whether it be inside or outside, and even talk through your cameras on the inside of your home. You can also. We have a lot of different gadgets. We'll let Cambrean get more into it because she's our tech head when it comes to that. She's the techie. I pretty much taught her most of
So what do you do then?
What I
She's the techie. What
take
do you
abuse
do?
from her, man. Take a lot of abuse.
That's what he does.
Hey, so I want to jump into that because the backstory is you guys met at another security company, right? And she was your boss.
She was my boss.
You hired this guy, right?
Yeah, it was a pity hire, but yeah.
Then I turned around and hired her. A couple of years later, I hired her.
So you guys worked at a security company, a well-known security company, right? And then what happened? How did y'all decide to start this company? Or you were Marvell's boss? How did you? I don't know what. Just tell me what happened here.
So, there were a lot of changes in this company that were not for the good of their employees. I would say that. And so I had a couple of friends who had left. One started his own security company in Florida, and he kept saying, "You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." So something that had come up that had happened several times to me over the years was people had presented me with an offer to be an insurance to have my own insurance agency,
Okay.
right? So Marvell, after I began to, be able to tolerate him, he came to my office one day. He's like, I'm leaving and you need to leave. And he was like, hey, I got this opportunity. A guy wants to help me start my insurance agency. I'm like, here this goes again. Maybe this is, my thing.
Yeah.
And so we start the process. And then for me, I was a little ahead in the game of the process than him. And so it didn't work out the way I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And so I literally, he was supposed to be at work. And I found him in the parking lot of this thing trying to go get this insurance agency. And I said, hey, get in the car. And he got in the car and I said, let's go to lunch. And I said, hey, my friend has been telling me I need to leave and start this security company. Mm-hmm. What do you think? And that's pretty much how it happened.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, so you were going the insurance route.
Well, I was going in. Well, what happened?
I didn't know this part of the story.
A little bit more twist to this. I had been in the cable industry for like 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I came off the road and one of my fraternity brothers was talking about, man, what are you doing right now? I wasn't really doing anything, trying to figure out my next move. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, you ought to come check this out, and you could do the same thing you did in security, cable industry with security. And he kept talking about this Miss Gray. I'm thinking I'm going to meet this old woman, Miss Gray. So I go and after so long, set up an appointment, call her about an interview. So I go in there, and some years ago, me and my brother had thought about getting into the security industry, but it didn't work out. So my first instinct was, I'm going to go in there as an infiltrator. I'm going to go in there and learn what I need to learn. And I'm going to find out how this works.
Right.
I didn't like her. She didn't like me.
Feeling was mutual.
She didn't like me. We didn't like each other.
But you hired her now.
But she,
it was a pity.
look, she used to be telling me, I'm your boss. Because I'll be up in this, hey, I need some help doing this. Boy, I'm your boss. So I didn't like her. I said, I got to find a new team to get on, man. But something in my gut kept saying, man, I believe me and her could do some stuff, but I don't like her. How could we work together?
What is it that you didn't like about her?
Oh, she was bossy, man.
Because he's used to having a secretary, and he thought I was his secretary. Still does. Yes. And so therefore I had to let him know that I was not.
Yeah. Regularly. She's my boss. Right?
Y'all seem like brother and sister to me, though.
Yeah. We fight every single
day, man. I take torture in my office, at the office dealing with her, man.
Vice versa.
But it's awful. But man, seriously, Cambrean, I was in her office. After a while, we started kind of, our egos kind of settled down, so we would go to lunch and different things. So I'd be in the office sometimes just pity partying, like, man, I'm on the sideline. Now, I'm making decent money at this company, 6 figures, or as she was also. But I said, I'm on the sideline, man. I'm watching a lot of my friends' businesses just take off while I'm sitting here trying to be an infiltrator, trying to figure this thing out about security. But some bad things happened over there, and she forgot this part. When we was getting ready to do the insurance, she asked me, she said, what happened to that idea? Because I told her one day, because she was asking me about some management, and I said, man, she said, what you planning to do with this company? I said, go out this door. She said, what do you mean go out this door? I said, I'm here to learn. And she likes to do this right here when she's thinking. She was doing this number right here. She said, I can help you. And at that time, I'm like, I don't want no help. I don't want no partner. I'm tired of partners. They don't act right. Yeah. But she was doing this number right here. Yeah. And it was several times that she would be calling me. And my instinct, I said, I bet she's calling me to tell me something about some business. I don't want to hear it. I don't want no partner for to figure this thing out. Mm-hmm. But as time went on, I kept seeing her at this company. And the big dogs, and she was a big dog also, but the guys that was up there would always come to her when they had problems and couldn't figure stuff out. And I'm looking at, she knows this industry like nobody else in here. I'm talking about guys that would come in from different places, and I'm knowing their title, I'm knowing her title. I said, she should be the boss. She should be running this whole thing. And I'm still thinking, can me and her do some business? I don't like her still. But as time went on, I said, she's smart and knows her business. But she's pretty smart about which to do business. But I don't know how well me and her would get along.
So eventually, y'all decided to work together.
We did. She told me she had the playbook. And she said, get in the car. She said, I got something to show you.
Yeah.
And she showed me the playbook because I'm still thinking about this insurance because I really don't know if this is the right thing to do. But when she said, I got the playbook, we need to do this, we never talked about insurance no more. This was like June, I think.
And y'all been business for how long?
5 years now.
Okay.
5 years.
This month, 5 years.
This
Wow,
month is
okay.
5 years.
Okay.
And it's been a great run, man. And
Now, why did you decide to tell him to get in the car?
Well, since he brought the opportunity to me
Yeah.
about the insurance, we'll go into that later off camera, the real story.
Wow.
But yeah, so I knew just talking to him, like he said, he would come sit in my office and we would just talk for hours, and they'd be like, what are they in there doing? He'd come in there, roll with me, I'm so sad. But I was like, you know, I can tell from him how he knows about business. He knows about business. I know about security.
Yeah.
Let's put this together and see what we can do.
Because to me, like from the outside looking in, my perspective for you guys is that you're the sales guy and you're the operations person.
yeah, that's it.
Is that how it is?
That's it.
So it's a good, like,
It's a good
when
niche.
you integrate those together,
Right.
you know, because a lot of times, you know, like for me, with my company, I'm probably like the salesperson, but I don't have a partner,
Right.
right? So I have to figure out the operations piece or hire somebody to do that. So with you guys, I mean, it seems like the balance is there.
Right.
You know, you like to talk a lot. You know, Cam is more.
She does too.
And the thing about it is, my background is sales, but you know, stuff happens, and you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to, you know, be able to get on that swivel and make your head turn to do
Absolutely.
different things. And so he likes to talk, as we all know. He likes to mingle. He likes to network. He likes to do all that. I like to figure things out.
Yeah.
Right, so he'll go out there and he'll say, "Oh, ooh,"
Yeah.
and now I got to figure out how it's gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
No,
work.
because that's true. Because sometimes when I'll hit Marvell up about something, and he'll be like, "Yo, man, all right, but hit Cam up. Can you call Cam?" But to me, like, I'm like, man, that's great because you know your role,
We
your
stay in
lane,
each other's way, man.
and then you know your lane.
Right.
So now in my head, I'm like, okay, I need to call Cam about this.
Right.
Marvell don't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying?
But she thought she knew sales until she met me. You know? She thought, so she got out of the way and she let Michael Jordan just come in here and do what he do. You know? So she's the Phil Jackson. You know, I tell you.
Phil got 11 rings,
Phil
bro.
got 11 rings because of Mike and Kobe.
Mike and Kobe, right.
Yeah, so you know, I'm not Michael Jordan. So you know,
Yeah.
but she knows her role and I know her role seriously.
Okay, so
But
let's.
she sells also. She can sell.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
knows how to put the big, huge jobs together or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go out there and I operate with vision.
Yeah.
I go and say, hey, like we're working on some more stuff right now, and it's all about vision. And a lot of times, opportunities will come to me, and I say, hey, man, I'm interested in this opportunity, but we got to bring my business partner because I like the way we roll with, you know, I got a best friend. If me and him do business, we're both scatterbrained. We're gonna be working on the sales and making things happen. But you got to have. I always tell people it's good to have a person that can open that door.
Yeah.
It needs someone in that middle, and you need a closer. But that middle part is just as important as both of those opening and closing that door.
Yeah.
And so Cam, what she does is she's that glue.
Yeah.
You know, and we're working on something with my best friend right now. But I told him I ain't doing business without Cam. Because me and you gonna kill each other. We're gonna be all over the place. We're gonna be working on the same thing to get to the goal of making the money. But without that glue in the middle, the money can be temporary. It can be short-lived. I want something with longevity.
Yeah.
And that's what she brings to the table with what we do.
No, that's a great point and a great takeaway for entrepreneurs, period. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we think I have the idea and I can sell, or I got this skill,
Right.
and I'm gonna go out here and have a huge business, but really you're not, because it's about building a team and like filling in the receipts with the right people, so that you can get to your destination.
Right.
You know. So let's talk about your target customer. Like who is y'all's? Who do you really help at the end of the day, and where do you guys really shine as a company?
Just like everybody else, we get into the game with residential.
Mm-hmm.
That's our bread and butter right now, being able to do the smart homes and things of that nature. But our ideal client right now, we're looking more into the commercial. So we've been working a lot with local churches, but we've done warehouses. We do a lot of Airbnbs. We do things of that nature. Airbnb, our setup is great for that platform.
Okay.
Because it lets you to be able to control, everything that's going on. But our focus lately has been the commercial side of it because of the features and things that we are able to offer. People people say, well, I don't have anything in here to steal, right? I only have files, I only have whatever, but it's so much more that you can do. You can make sure that your employees are opening on time, that they're closing on time. We have features on our cameras where you can track your volume of people coming in and out. When are your busy times? When are your slow times? When do you need to staff up? When can you kind of back down? So it's more than just saying, oh, somebody can break in. And that's the thing we said and talk to people about. Security, we don't put it on the back burner, but yes, we do security. But let's talk about how we can be a benefit to your business. Let's see how we can be an asset to you. And then also on the residential side, it's more than that. We do, every home comes with fire protection. That's a must. That's not, I don't know anybody else that's doing that.
And fire protection is what specifically?
So it's 24-hour monitoring on a monitor smoke communicator.
Okay.
So whether you arm the system or not, if there's a fire in the home, then someone will be notified. People always say, oh, my neighbors will see. You know, by the time your neighbors see your house on fire, it's too late. You know, and you can get back a TV, you can get back jewelry, you can get back clothes, but you can't get a life back. So, you know, what if your kids are at home during the summertime and, you know, they're, you know, running around the house or playing games, whatever, and something happened. They leave the food on in the stove or, you know, in the oven. Then you have a backup there that's watching your kids back. You're not there. So you have that opportunity to protect them even when you're not there.
Yeah.
Correct.
So quick question about, I have a question I was going to ask you about. So you're a smart company. You kind of mentioned you're a smart company.
Correct.
And I love that though, because now, you know, we're not just thinking about security or an alarm. We're thinking about like monitoring different facets, especially when it comes to a business, things that can help you like generate money, right? Or save money or be more productive like in your business. But my question is, when you're talking to customers, right? Or potential customers, are you selling with fear?
No.
Are you like, yo?
No.
That's what I felt like your kids be home and the fire could be.
No, but then we find out what we have a series of questions we ask. We want to know what your concerns are because you deal with the bigger brands. They have a cookie cutter, right? You see the commercials, they have a promo. You know how many times people say, I don't want that. That's not what I want. I'm not interested in an indoor camera for whatever the situation is. We do everything custom built. We ask you, what are your concerns? What's going on? What do we need to address? There are people that come in here and say, oh, they'll kick in your door and break down your windows. You need, 50 contacts and 50 motion detectors. That's not what we do. We just, when you say the fact you have kids, do they stay at home by themselves? Who's here with them? Who picks them up? How do they get into the home? We have, the smart door locks where people's like, I don't want to give my kids keys to the house because they're just going to lose them, right? So now you have this smart door lock where you can just give them a code, they can come in and you can know when they're in the house. So that's what we kind of do. We don't sell on fear at all because at the end of the day, we're not trying to push anything off on you. We're trying to help you design the system for your home, for your business, for whatever that's what you want. Because we want you to use it, we want you to be happy, and we want you to send us referrals.
We have a needs analysis that we talk to the customer and find, like what she said, every job that we go to is custom built for that customer versus the cookie cutter, everybody get a front door, back door, and different things like that. But we find out exactly what your pain is, and we try to solve that problem versus coming like, oh, you need all of this, you need this, you need that. We want to really, I think what makes us successful with our clients, we go in there with the mindset of we're going to sleep in that house. How would you protect your energy? Cam taught me that, and to be honest with you, I like sales, and I didn't think anybody could teach me anything about sales because I feel like I'm passionate about it. But she taught me something.
You think nobody could teach you?
Nah, not about sales. I thought I was a natural at sales. I didn't want nobody to teach me nothing about when it came to sales. But she sat me down one day, and we was talking. She said, Marvell, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and the way you're doing things. She said, your numbers are good, but think about this and how you're presenting what you're presenting to that customer. And when we was going through, because each one of us, we had to go through, what was that, role play? What was that we did when we said,
learn a script.
We had a script. And she said, if you think about designing that system with you sleeping in that house or protecting your family or your loved ones, you'll always get it right. So I say that to say we got 99% of every client from day one still with us. We're not losing any clients. And I think that's because we designed that system to make them understand this is a need for you. If you got a product that you're not using, it's easy for you to say, oh, I don't need this anymore because I'm not using it. The problem, when we go into someone's house, we put together a package that they need and they're going to use. And I think that's our key of not just going out there for that dollar. At the end of the day, we got to pay bills and got to run our company. But if we do things with integrity, and I think that's why our company is growing in the direction it's going.
Well, that's great, because if everybody did that, when we present our product or service and we say, hey, if I was in your shoes, how would I want this to be tailored? It would probably be a great conversation, a mutually beneficial end result. So give me some idea of like some success stories or some case studies of businesses that you guys have helped, like businesses that may have had a certain issue and you went in there and solved their problem. Maybe it was an Airbnb customer, or maybe you mentioned churches or whatever, or a restaurant, or.
It was fun. We were we just did a church 2-3 weeks ago, and we were going through it. I went after the fact, 'cause I was sick, so I didn't get to go to the install. I go out, I'm walking around with the pastor. We're talking about everything that's going on, and so when we were getting ready to go back into the church, one of the deacons drove the church band, right? And it was like, and we were like, what in the world is happening? Yes, they get under the van. They had stolen the catalytic converter off of the van, right?
Somebody has stolen
off the van. And so he said, well, that proves to me that we're doing the right thing at the right time. Because you think about, that's why they had issues with people coming on their parking lots, doing crazy stuff, stealing, doing all this type of stuff. And then right there on the spot, we added more cameras. Wow. Because it was, the situation was, he was like, okay, this proves to me that we're doing the right thing. And again, like he said, it's our perspective. You tell us what your issue is. If it was us, this thing's important. Is this important to you? So we designed that system. So we make sure that we do that. Also with the Airbnbs, he loves it that he can get on. He has one app, all of his properties on the one app. He doesn't have to log out, log back in. He said he's able to set up for all of his customers. When he has people that are helping him, then they can do the same thing. And it's like it's a situation where, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night because they, lost the key, or they went on Broadway and had a good time and now they can't get in, or whatever the situation is. So it's been very helpful in that sense for us. But we've had people who, we had a customer that told Marvell, I didn't want to buy this smoke detector. And then she had a fire in her home.
Wow!
And
after she got this,
Marvell was like, this is a no-brainer. You have to have this. And she ended up having a fire. She got on Facebook and said, I'm so glad.
And the thing about us, and what we both came up with, we'd rather walk away from a job if we're not going to do it right. And the thing about it is, if we're not going to do it right, if somebody's not going to pay for something, we're not going to put somebody in danger for a piece of equipment that might cost $100 or whatever it might cost. I'd rather protect that life. And like she said, she got on Facebook and said, hey, man, I want to thank First Defense of Marvell putting that smoke communicator in my house, because if it wasn't, she was going out of town or something.
I can't remember, something like that.
And the house would have burned up, and she was having bad. But I got two, and I won't name one of them name, but I will the second one. The two bars. We had a situation where we was designing a system for a bar right here in Nashville.
A sports bar?
A sports bar. And where the owner wanted these cameras we was like, okay, that's fine, but we want to be an expert. And we suggested to put a camera in this alleyway that was a blind spot. We're all about watching for blind spots where someone could walk out and be ambushed. So about a couple months after the guy was saying he didn't want this camera, he called back and said, I think I want that camera in this alleyway that we suggested. Because I'll go as far as say, hey, if you don't want this camera here, I want you to notate that I suggested it. Long story short, a murder happened at that same bar.
At the bar?
At the same bar.
Wow.
And that morning, the detectives was calling our office because they just couldn't just go into this camera and see the footage. We had to show them how, and Cambrean walked them through. The murder happened right there on the camera where we put those. And it was on the news talking about it was a serial killer. There was something happened in Green Hills, all these places. I won't go too much because you don't know where this place happened at. And they caught these people that were responsible because they kept saying it was a tan-looking Maximo. They was trying to talk about the car, but our cameras caught the car, the murders, and everything that happened. And these people were friends of the people on this bar. Murfreesboro, my best friend owns a spot called the Fish House, and it was that same situation. Murder happened at this place over in this complex and the police and the news were reporting it was one shooter. But our camera that wasn't on this bar, but at the club, but it was in my best friend's fish house restaurant. His cameras caught the footage, and he said it was two people. This guy handed this person this, and our cameras again caught the people that were responsible. You know, you can't bring a person, family, you can't bring that person back, but you can give that family some, you know, some peaceful sleep and a closure of knowing this person that did this bad thing is no longer out here to hurt somebody else's family. So a situation like that is what helps me sleep at night, knowing that we got a product. When you see that camera, it's not grainy. It's not like I've been in several news situations where if you can identify this person, call this number, you don't know who it is, you know. But with our cameras,
it's HD.
It's HD.
It's HD.
We're not playing at the bottom and saying we're gonna get you the cheapest camera. I'm not gonna call anything that we do cheap or anything like that, but our most economical camera is still gonna be a high tech camera, and it's gonna go up from there according to what you want, whether it be license plates, zooming in, varifocal lenses. Everything that we offer is gonna be something that's gonna capture and do the job that it needs to do, and that's what I'm happy about. With this company, man, we operate at the next level.
Bro, do like to talk, don't you?
He does.
But that's how the bills get paid at this office.
No question. Hey, so listen, I wanna. The reason I was asking, like, you know, what customers you guys help or some examples there is because, you know, our audience is business owners, entrepreneurs. So I just want them to hear some triggers and some reasons why they may want to reach out to you guys and call on you. So tell the folks how should they engage you guys? How should they get in touch with y'all?
Before we do that, can you talk about our latest product being the curves? Because there's people out here that need to know that we offer this as well. We hadn't pushed this out enough. Before we do that, can you mind talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, please. Oh, not at all. Okay. Is what's it called again?
It's a personal emergency response system.
Okay.
You know, back in the day, it was the I fall and I can't get up, but it's so much more than that. And it doesn't have to be necessarily used for a senior. It can be used for anybody. It can be used for a realtor, a runner, you know, anybody like that that's out you hiking, doing that kind of thing. It has GPS on it. Okay. So if you're lost.
So does it go around your neck or how does it?
Neck, can be clipped on your belt, be a bracelet, anything you want to do.
Yeah. And so is it a monthly fee or how does it work?
So it works like it has a cellular communicator in it. So you're able to have people set up on the phone where they can say, okay, you know, say you are dealing with a parent who wants to be independent, you can have a geofence around their house, right? So they leave the house.
Like a dog.
Yeah, like a little fence.
Like the invisible fence.
But yeah, they can, if they leave out of the, you know, they're not supposed to be driving or whatever, right? Or they have a tendency to wander off. You can have that geofence around the house. If they cross that geofence, it will send a notification to your phone. If they fall, you can get a notification to your phone. Yeah. And it allows them, back in the day, it was specifically for the house. You had to be in the house next to that, you know, next to that communicator. But now you can be out, you can be independent.
Because it uses like the cell phone tower stuff. Okay.
So that's what I said, you know, runners, hikers, realtors, if you're, you know, going into homes by yourself, things of that nature. So it can be used on pretty much anybody. You can put it in your kid's backpack. You know, they can have that in their backpack if they're walking home from school or something like that. So let
me ask you this though, how is that different from, like, on my phone when I go running or whatever, I use an app called Strava, and which is basically just a running app to track, you know, your miles and your time. But they have a GPS thing on there, and I can send it to anybody.
Well, it has a button on it, so if you push the button, you'll talk to somebody in our monitoring station.
Oh, okay. So if I do fall and hurt myself, I ain't got to worry about calling nobody.
If they're actually going, you don't even have to push it, but if you get one with the fall detection, they can detect you falling, and they will come across and they can talk to you. Nice. And then they can send it to whoever you have on your contact list and let them know that, you know, this person failed. Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking about something similar to that this morning.
When you got lost?
When I got lost, I was in the trails. I was telling her I went running in the trails in West Nashville, and I got lost, man.
Really?
I meant to do like 5 miles. I ended up doing almost 11. Wow. Because I was trying to find my way back. But I was wondering. So when I was passing certain people, I noticed nobody was by themselves, and it was like 2 guys, 3 guys, 3 women, or whatever. And I recognize, like, I'm by myself. So what if, something happens to me or I fall or, whatever, like, am I going to be conscious enough to pick up my phone? So that's a good product.
Yeah. Yeah, but to contact us, your original question.
Well, before you do that, before you do that, I got one more thing. I know.
Why doesn't this surprise you?
Well, I talked about one product. Can you tell them about the car app, please? We got one more.
You got a car app?
We got one more app. We got one more new feature that we're about to roll out.
Okay.
It's called Connected Car.
Connected car.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know how like your insurance company has you put the little thingy up in your car to track you. So basically that's what it is. But it's integrated into your app. So it's great for your kids. So your kids just started driving. It not only has GPS on it, but it also can tell you can put a speed cap on it. So if they're speeding, it can let you know if they go over a certain mile. So it can let you know if they don't have gas in the car. So it lets you know all these different things. It's right in your app. It's be integrated with your security system. So it's not like you have 3, 4, 5 different apps. Yeah. It's right there in the app with us with your security system, and then you can set up those notifications, like I said. So I have one in my car because I test everything out on me. So if you're not paying attention, it's like, oh hey, you need gas. Hey, you're driving too fast. It's hard braking in the car. So, you can tell how your kids are driving, things of that nature. Wow. So it's a great feature that we are getting ready to launch as well. So that's something that we have available.
Food trucks, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Food trucks, this will be great for 18-wheelers. You can
it's something, if people have a fleet of cars,
yes,
right?
Fleet of cars.
Control companies,
correct.
Even, launch security companies, whatever. But I think, insurance companies, these IT companies, they got like 20 cars, 20 vehicles.
Everything that your employee is doing. If he's driving erratic, you know what's going on. You don't have to be there.
Yeah.
So we want to be that next level.
Man, that's crazy because I just remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, man, what did we do, man?
Right.
We didn't have cell phone. Nobody was tracking. We got on our bicycle.
We were just talking about that today.
Went 2 miles away. And my parents were like, be home when it get dark. You know what I'm saying? Parents didn't worry about the thing.
Yeah, man. And now this technology, man. And I've never been a techie guy till this company. It's just amazing for the things that we have that we're launching. We got some more things, but we want to talk about those too.
Okay.
So
we ran out of time, so we can't give people your website.
Can't give my website?
Thank you for coming. No.
Come on, man. All right. So how do we get in touch? How do we get in touch with First Defense Security?
So our web address is firstdefensesecurity.net. And you can see where all our services are that we offer. You can also have an information form which you'd like to have someone reach out to you. We do consultations free. There's no obligation. We just want to come out and talk to you to see what you're interested in. We're also on social media. We're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. And our tag is at First Defense 615.
First Defense 615. There it is. So how far do y'all go out? Like in terms of the territory or,
Right now, we're licensed throughout the state of Tennessee. We can go into Kentucky some as well. So our focus, of course, is where we are. We're in Middle Tennessee, but we can go anywhere in the state of Tennessee.
Okay, perfect. Well, y'all reach out to firstdefensesecurity.net and at First Defense Security 615?
Yes.
Okay, online.
First Defense 615.
I'm sorry, First Defense 615 online on those social media platforms. And if you are not following our social media, TechDontSleep Podcast, make sure you're doing that. Our handle is TechDontSleep. So you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. And appreciate our sponsors for sponsoring the podcast and our event coming up June 29th. So if you see this podcast before June 29th, make sure you come out to our event. And those sponsors are Comcast Business, Aircall, Spectrum, VoIP, and Entirety. So appreciate you guys for stepping in and sponsoring these events and the podcast. And that's it, y'all. We appreciate y'all again for coming through.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
always
sir.
a pleasure, Bill McCleskey.
Boom.
Can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie. Ain't no Chico, just be smooth.